very good evening to you. Thanks for making time for us on NTV tonight on this Tuesday night. These are the stories we're following for you. Tonight, autopsy on Tob Cohen's body falls through.
We've been waiting here since 9 o'clock. No information, no nothing.
On duty, government pathologist kicked out.
They feel that maybe it will be prejudiced, and therefore we have all accepted.
Plus, exam or assessment. Competency-based curriculum put to the test.
It is a matter of knowing the content and being able to execute it.
There is no competition. We don't rank.
And President assents to division of revenue bill. Treasury to disperse 50 billion shillings to counties by Friday.
The state of the economy will be very much dependent on the private sector.
But senators are still unsatisfied.
They have even made the president think that the money that goes to the county is his money.
Also tonight, bizarre attack in Bumula.
Kasikia sauti ikilipuka safari moja. Watu wanakimbia ate wamewasha moto.
Woman's body in a coffin burnt ahead of burial.
NTV Tonight with Smriti Vidyarthi.
And joining us in sign language interpretation tonight is Flora Atieno. Let's take you to our top story now, and the post-mortem exam on the body of the late Dutch tycoon Tob Cohen has been postponed to tomorrow. Lawyers representing his estranged wife, Sarah Wairimu, had reservations about the government pathologist, that's Dr. Peter Ndegwa, conducting the autopsy, saying he was biased. Well, Dr. Ndegwa is said to have been at the crime scene the day Cohen's body was recovered, and he reportedly made some unsettling comments there. Here's NTV's Mel Miendo with more.
Tuesday morning, family members of the late Dutch billionaire Tob Cohen and lawyers convened at the Chiromo mortuary for a post-mortem exam on his body that they hope will help reveal the truth about the cause of death. Each of the parties to this case brought their own pathologist. Dr. Andrew Gashie represented Sarah Wairimu, and Dr. Emily Rugina was there for the family of Tob Cohen.
The pathologist team will decide on how to conduct it and communication, etc., including their findings.
Aside from the protests over the delays, there were contentious issues among the lawyers and the family of the late Tob Cohen that had to be resolved first, and a consensus arrived at. The defense team, led by Philip Murgor, was opposed to government pathologist Dr. Peter Ndegwa presiding over the exam.
They have requested that I should not continue representing the government or the DCI in this case, and they feel that maybe it will be prejudiced, and therefore we have all accepted. My colleague Dr. Johansen Odul is on leave, but he has agreed to temporarily resume work and be here tomorrow.
On Tuesday evening, a CT scan procedure will be conducted on the body of the late Tob Cohen at the Kenyatta National Hospital ahead of the post-mortem exam that was rescheduled to Wednesday morning.
X-rays are very important. They pick up things that maybe you may not be able to see. And then you may be able to see even the injuries, sometimes fractures and the rest, or foreign objects.
Cohen's family had wished to bury him within 36 hours from the time his body was recovered as per Jewish traditions, but this may not be the case since the autopsy was postponed.
It is not very easy for them. I can see they are getting quite heartbroken. But yes, that wish we could not have, managed to let them have it. But it is necessary that the right thing is done. And if it's not done the right way, there might even be more delay in future.
The family needs to have this body buried. They need to travel back. They are living in the hotel. It's getting expensive. Paying for these expenses for the X-ray and the CT scan and all that. They need to have a closure. So tomorrow 9:30, we must just proceed with this.
Lawyers representing Sarah Wairimu Cohen have today applied to have her come here at the Chiromo mortuary tomorrow to identify the body of her husband, Tob Cohen. Now, in the case where she will not be able to come, then she will perhaps delegate someone else for the identification. Mel Miendo, NTV, Nairobi.
That's a story we'll be following for you tomorrow morning. Elsewhere to the education scene, and there have been conflicting reports about the conduct and nature of the ongoing national assessment for grade 3 learners under the new competency-based curriculum. Many teachers, parents and leaders equated it to an exam. Well, the government has, however, made it clear that there will be no grading or ranking. So what makes it different? NTV visited different primary schools in the country to see how the CBC assessment is being administered. Here's what our Charity Mwangi found out.
After a mix of confusion and anxiety and months of preparation, it was D-Day for grade 3 pupils across the country as they sat their assessment test. The mood was relaxed in most schools, unlike what one would expect during national examinations.
Anasema watoto waendelee tu, hakuna kurudi nyuma na kila mtoto ataendelea kwa sababu sasa hatuangalii alama ya mtoto.
At the Lakewood Premier School, the test has started by 8 a.m. It appears as though the pupils were taking a normal end-of-term exam, just without the hawk-eyed invigilators and the security officers looking out for any mischief.
The person who was supposed to download the exam is the head teacher, and after downloading the exam, he's supposed to release the exam once the pupils are doing the exam. So the teachers and the pupils, they were eagerly waiting for this assessment. They have not seen it.
The test doesn't have a designated time to administer, although the teachers must submit the results before the end of the week.
Those who are invigilating the exam, they are the class teachers. They are the one to mark, and after marking, they will put the score. They will also put the performance level. Then they will fill them in the scoring sheet. Then they will send them to the NEC.
The teachers here tell us that though the security measures are relaxed, they try to maintain the integrity and credibility of the test. At Rockfield School, the written tests are coupled with activities meant to identify the pupils' talents. Creative instruments that are part of ongoing projects are on display. In class, they continue to prepare for tests that are expected to be completed in the course of the week.
And it's a hands-on curriculum whereby it is a matter of knowing the content and being able to execute it.
May you sit down?
At the Kitale School, the pupils sat close together. Nothing close to how it is during national exams, where students sit far apart. The exam is administered by teachers familiar to the pupils. This, however, is not without challenge, especially for the schools handling huge numbers of pupils.
Kama wangekuwa na watoto 30 hivi kwa darasa ingekuwa vizuri, lakini sasa inakuwa ni watoto 50, mtu anakuwa nao 50 na kitu, na kazi yenyewe si rahisi.
At Patrician Primary School in Eldoret, the teachers were working closely with the pupils, supporting them where they needed to.
In this case, there is no competition. We don't rank, but we assess according to the competency of the child.
In Mombasa, there was a sense of relief for some of the pupils having completed their first test, awaiting their second. The tests are not timed, and so they are free to complete in their own time.
Some have finished, some have not finished, but we're still giving them enough time for them to complete the assessment.
The pupils have completed their first assessment test. They have 2 more to go: English Section 1, which will be an oral exam, and English Section 2, which will test their comprehension and their writing skills. Charity Mwangi, NTV.
Now, moments after President Uhuru Kenyatta signed the Division of Revenue Bill 2019 into law today, the National Treasury dispersed over 50 billion shillings to the counties for the month of July and August. Treasury Acting Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani says the money will be in the counties' accounts by Friday, but senators are still not happy. Vincent Odwar tells us why.
It is a much-needed relief for county governments after Treasury released over 50 billion shillings for the month of July and August, a disbursement that was long overdue.
Masha?
Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani wants the county governments to now prioritize payment of their pending bills, estimated to be in excess of 100 billion shillings, with the private sector being the most hit.
That the state of the economy will be very much dependent on the private sector. And quite a number of them are being owed so much money by the counties in form of pending bills. This is hurting them.
These came just hours after President Uhuru Kenyatta signed into law the controversial Division of Revenue Bill 2019 that was the source of strife between the Senate and the National Assembly.
78.1 billion Kenyan shilling to county governments for financial year 2019-2020, of which Kenyan shilling 316.5, constituting about 84% of the equitable share or revenue rates nationally.
The two houses are now locked in a dispute over when the bill should take effect. But the senators have accused members of the National Assembly of presenting a different version of the Division of Revenue Bill to the President for assent. The senators say the National Assembly backdated the commencement date to 1st of July to sanitize their passage of the appropriation bill.
They have even made the president think that the money that goes to the county is his money.
Somebody wants to validate what has taken place before. I don't know whether we understand each other. Something has happened which is wrong and contrary to the law.
Why should we then pass the county allocation revenue bill when the DORA is an illegality?
And we make the first misstep, we are likely to derail this Senate, and I will not be counted as one of them who derail this Senate.
Senate Speaker Ken Lusaka will rule on the Senate's position on the matter next Tuesday. Vincent Odur, NTV.
The latest survey by London firm All Africa Advisors on the performance of county governments is out. Bottom on this list of excellence is Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waititu. Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua was ranked the best performing governor, while 3 first-timers made it into the top 10. NTV's Kennedy Moredi has the details of how the county's ranked.
Well, thank you very much, Smith, on the other side of the studio. And counties have not been audited for quite some time, and this report goes to show what counties have been doing for the last 6 years. You remember within this period, counties have had 2 governors. There are some counties that have actually had the first batch of governors between 2013 and now 2017 when other governors came in. And this report goes to show what they have been doing during this particular period. The new ones are actually seen to be performing very good. But right now, Kiambu County, which has made headlines recently amid the corruption claims touching on the governor and the leadership fields that have been there, has been ranked the worst performing county. The governor there has a score of negative 615. And you will remember, Smith, that this is the president's county. But however, it is not lonely at the bottom. 27 other counties had a below 0 rating. Homa Bay was ranked the second last, followed by Busia County. Kisumu County under Governor Nyong'o has a negative 6. Now, this is where it also gets interesting. Elgeyo Marakwet under the Governor Alex Tolgos has a negative 7. Laikipia under Governor Nderetu Mureithi also has a score of negative 10. Most of these counties, actually 27 in number, are under 20. Actually, the 27 of them are under 0. That is what I meant to say. And Siaya's Colonel Rasanga is at number 40 with a score of negative 66. Embu's Martin Wambora is at number 41 and has a score of negative 67. Nyamira's John Nyagarama, this is in the Nyanza part, is at number 42 with a score of negative 85. Kilifi, which is one of the counties that make up the coast, has a score of negative 91. But now, switching gears and going to the top counties. And Machakos County topped the ratings at 460 points. And you'll remember that this survey, which has been carried out by a London think tank, attributes his success to Mwananchi-centered projects, and this is actually what all the counties that are at the top 10 have actually been looking at. At number 2, there is Kakamega's Wycliffe Oparanya, who doubles up as the Council of Governor chairperson, and he comes in at a close second. And moving gears, and the capital city, that is Nairobi, and Governor Mike Sonko has been ranked 3rd. And this is what we said according to the development. And he is also a first-time governor and closes the list of those with 400 points and above. Governor Sonko got 406 points. Now we shift gears to the Lower Eastern, where Makueni's Kivutha Kibwana, whose county has actually been used as a benchmark for devolution, came in at number 4 with a score of 374 points. We go again to the coast, and we have Mombasa Governor Hassan Joho coming in 5th. And he is one of those counties from that particular region that has actually been ranked the highest, because most counties from the coast have been ranked very low. While we go to Mount Kenya, where Tharaka Nithi Muthomi Njuki, another first-time governor leading the pack in the Mount Kenya region, is ranked 6th with 133 points. But here is the other thing. There is, however, a difference of 112 points between him and Governor Joho. Remember, Governor Joho is in the 300 mark, while Muthomi Njuki is at 133 points. That disparity is too huge. But we also have Kericho's Paul Chepkoni closing the list of 10 best performing governors with 44 points.
All right, Kendi Muredi, thanks for that. Let's see if that insight and those revelations make any difference whatsoever to the performance of the governors and also the counties. Elsewhere, the Jubilee candidate for the Kibra by-election, that's MacDonald Mariga, could find himself still fighting to keep his spot on the ballot paper. Now, this is after Maurice Kinyanjui, a contender with the Jubilee Party, moved to the political parties tribunal to contest the manner in which the Jubilee Party carried out the party's nomination. This is the second time that Kinyanjui is raising objections to Mariga's nomination. His appeal at the Jubilee Party Elections Tribunal was rejected, but he isn't the only one seeking to block Mariga's candidature. Mariga was cleared to run on Monday by the IEBC after the Kibra returning officer invalidated his candidature last week on account of him not being a registered voter. Well, yesterday, the IEBC declared that he was duly registered and therefore eligible to both vote and also vie. Well, on the other side of the political aisle, the Orange Democratic Movement Party will on Friday officially roll out its campaign strategy for the Kibra by-elections set for the 7th of November. The party's top officials, led by its chairman, who's also the leader of minority in the National Assembly, John Mbadi, held a 3-hour meeting with delegates and later on drummed up support for the party's candidate for the by-election, that's Imran Okoth. While other leaders present included MPs Junet Mohammed, Tim Wanyonyi, Anthony Oluoch, Babu Owino, TJ Kajwang, George Aladwa and a number of MCAs.
Lakini tumejipanga kama chama na watakuja kujua kuanzia leo ya kwamba sisi ndio serikali ya hapa Kibra. Hata Jubilee watajua kumbe hawa ni serikali ya huko Nairobi. Na hapa Kibra sio Nairobi, hapa Kibra ni Kibra.
Mimi nawahakikishia hiyo kazi nimeifanya kwa miaka 2 na tayari mimi nimesimama hapa, nitasimama na nyinyi kutekeleza hizi mambo zote. Sawa?
Elsewhere, Deputy President William Ruto has accused those clamouring for a constitutional referendum of distracting the Jubilee government from its development agenda. The DP says those leading the push are also causing confusion in the Jubilee party. He spoke during the burial of Meru Senator Mithika Linturi's father in Meru earlier today.
The burial of Meru Senator Mithika Linturi's late father was expected to have played into the ongoing divorce case between the senator and Mary Kaitanyi, she who had asked the court to adjourn to allow her to mourn her father-in-law. But at the funeral today, her absence was conspicuous. The bereaved senator and the leaders in attendance instead focusing on the state of the Jubilee Party.
It is painful for us to see a party that we struggle on so hard to bring to power die as we watch. It will be painful will not be forgiven. We will lose trust. Kenyans will never believe us again.
Msipoteze imani. Jubilee itasimama imara kwa sababu shetani atashindwa. I promise you. Hii maneno tu kidogo hapo mnaona iko hapo ndani ni maneno madogo tutanyorosha.
Key amongst those issues the DP says will be dealt with, the push for a referendum ahead of the 2022 polls. The party's membership has been divided in their support for the various referendum platforms, from the Third Way Alliance's Punguza Mizigo, the Handshakes BBI, and now Ugatuzi by the governors.
Kweli kuna haja ya kubadilisha hii katiba ama la?
There's a cycle of referendums every time we need to change leadership of the country. When is inevitable that there will be a change in leadership of the country? Inaweza kuwa kwamba hii referendum ni ya kuunda maneno ili ikae mzuri, ama ni referendum ya kusaidia wananchi. Hiyo ndio swali mnafaa kujiuliza.
The deputy president, however, wants the party members to ensure that they do not get distracted by the referendum politics. He instead blames those from outside the party of being the architects of the clamor for the plebiscite.
Umetuletea mjadala ingine hapa ya katiba. Na mnajua wenye hii maneno ya kuzungushana na katiba. You know them. Ndio unaona hii mchanganyiko yuko hapa na hii watu. Sasa hawa watu wamechanganyika, hawajui ni kupunguza, hawajui ni kuongeza, hawajui ni ugatuzi, hawajui ni gani, kwa sababu this is not our business. Hii ni business ya watu wengine.
The DP says the party will, however, not be derailed from its development agenda. Brenda Wanga, NTV.
Now, as the world leaders prepare to converge at the UN General Assembly in a week's time to take stock of the progress made towards the Sustainable Development Goals, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has released their annual assessment report. Olive Burrows now introduces us to this year's findings.
Place of birth. How many times when you're applying for a visa, passport, or even a Huduma number have you answered this question without a second thought? What of your gender, male or female? A simple enough question, right? Well, wrong, and that is according to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. In its 2019 Goalkeepers Report, which keeps track of how the United Nations members are performing in pursuit of the Sustainable Development Goals, where you're born is more predictive of your future than any other factor. For example, if you're born in the Sahel of Chad, as opposed to, say, Finland, you're 55 times more likely to die, meaning more children die every single day in Chad than die in Finland in an entire year. And these differences are evident not just between countries, but within counties and constituencies. Now, how has the foundation measured prosperity by these units of government? Well, primarily by examining access to health and education. And if you're among those who feel that advocacy around the girl child has left the boy child trailing in the dust, well, then you're going to want to pay particular attention to this next statement. No matter where you're born, your life will be harder if you're born a girl. Now, this is backed by numbers. I'm not being a feminist propagandist. According to the report, across sub-Saharan Africa, girls average 2 fewer years of education than boys. And according to the World Bank, each additional year of schooling raises earnings by up to 10%. Now, on NTV Tonight, tomorrow, we bring these numbers home and tell you why your place of birth and gender are not simple matters. Back to you, Smriti.
All right, Olive, thanks very much. We look forward to finding out more on that tomorrow. Who would have thought that your gender, well, I suppose it's true. It's not that straightforward for many. All right, elsewhere, a court in Rwanda has sentenced a Kenyan man to 2 years in jail for conning young Rwandans into paying a registration fee for a conference that never happened. Charles Kinuthia was found guilty of soliciting money from hundreds of Rwandans to attend his wealth conference in Kigali in May. Now, Kinuthia was able to squeeze an equivalent of more than 400,000 Kenyan shillings from attendees by luring them with a promise of receiving cash at the end of the conference. Now, on the material day, have a look at that. Over 5,000 people thronged the Kigali Convention Center, but was stranded as no speaker turned up. The court acquitted his co-accused, that's Kenyans Vivian Kisa Mukwana and also Rachel Matipe, as well as a Rwandan national. Well, Kinuthia's lawyers say that they will appeal to the Kenyan government to intervene in that case. It's now time for a break on NTV tonight, but here's what you can expect when we return. Details of the bizarre attack in Bumula, where a woman's body and coffin was burnt ahead of burial.
It's okay, I'm okay. What happened? It's just a little scratch, Mom. How can I play with bigger boys? If I'm afraid of little scratches, right?
What comforts a mother most is to see her child growing up.
Done, I'll go.
Of course. But I know that as he learns to be brave, he will face even more germs and the risk of infection.
That's why you need strong Dettol protection, because Dettol kills 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
You in the pollution? Yes, you. Dry throat? Strepsils. Gal in the smoke with a raspy voice? Strepsils. Hello, in the downpour with a scratchy throat? Take Strepsils. Get soothing relief for any throat irritation. Strepsils with its medicinal ingredients will heal the harm down to your throat from external factors. Strepsils. Strepsils for a dry, itchy, raspy, scratchy throat.
Tana River County Government, under the leadership of His Excellency Major Retired Dr. Dado Godana, invites you to the first ever cultural extravaganza in Hola on 19th to 21st September under the theme Unity in Cultural Diversity, Uncovering the Treasures. It will focus on peace building, conservation, trade, tourism and culture. Welcome to Tana River.
County ya Malkia Strikers. Kosa ukose.
Are you in a financial fix and need the cash instantly? Is your electricity and water bill also due? Worry no more, Posenti has your back. Download the app from Play Store, register, and get the cash straight through your phone. You can also pay your electricity bill directly and minimal bills on Senti. Pata Senti on Senti. Terms and conditions apply.
Who wants to answer? Mary?
Mary has a toothache.
Oh, I see. And who knows why?
Because the tooth is too big.
No, it might be a hole in her tooth called a cavity. That's why I brush twice a day using Colgate.
Imagine this is your tooth and these are food acids that cause cavities. Colgate with calcium and fluoride helps prevent cavities
For maximum cavity protection.
and now available in a 12-gram sachet for fresh breath. Only 15 shillings.
Mama, how can I be a champion runner?
Well, you've got to be like a geisha ball. Staying strong and going so far.
Be strong and last long. Like geisha.
Kama unaniamini na kifunguo ya nyumba mpaka kifunguo ya bedroom yako kwa nini?
Shut up. Unajua if my husband discovers you're the one who cleans my bedroom, atafurahia.
Hapa ni Nairobi my friend. Nile ujinga ulikuwa unaniletea Kisii.
But my mommy says lying is not good.
Umeacha ule watu ndio wako pale. Mimi ndo unanikujia peke yangu hapa. Wametumwa na makatelo wananifuata kila mahali. Unataka ninywe hizi dread juu ya heartbreak? Unaziona na wewe si ndio? Ni rahisi kunijua si ngumu. Just link on my bio.
Mimi nataka kutoshana na wewe, bulldozer. Shifira, I am proportional. You are circumference. Get the difference.
Yeah, let's give it a try.
When it comes to pimple care, Acne's Creamy Wash contains multiple vitamins and removes excessive oil and dirt. Use Mentholatum Acne's for clear and smooth skin every day.
Welcome back. A second-year Moi University student accused of trafficking in ivory broke down in court, claiming he had been framed for being in a forbidden relationship with a girl from a wealthy family. Jafet Bakari, who was arrested 4 months ago with 4 pieces of ivory, blamed his girlfriend's father, who he claims handed him a sack he believed contained maize.
Visibly shaken, Jafet Bakari appeared before Mombasa Chief Magistrate Edna Nyaloti. Bakari, alongside another suspect, Ibrahim Ali, were arrested on May 16th at Mwembe Tayari, Mombasa, in possession of 8.5 kgs of ivory, whose street value is 850,000 shillings. Bakari, who is a Bachelor of Arts student, claimed in court he was framed for being in a forbidden relationship with a female fifth-year Bachelor of Medicine student at Moi University main campus in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County.
Wazazi wake na wazazi wakamwambia huyo kijana anatoka familia ya maskini na lazima kuachana naye, lakini msichana mwenyewe ndio akaendeleza uhusiano huo. Ilikuwa Disemba, alinionya kuwa wachana na mtoto wangu na akaniambia kuwa atanionyesha.
The young man broke down several times as he gave a different narrative implicating his lover's father, whom he claims is a rich and well-known Kenyan tycoon. The suspect told the court he believes that his girlfriend's dad planted the pieces of ivory in the sack, which he believed contained maize. According to Bakari, it is his girlfriend's dad who gave him the maize sack as a gift.
Na ningeomba mahakama hii itoe order ya yule mzee aletwe na hiyo date iwe huyu msichana mwenyewe atakuja aelezee mahakama ukweli. Sina hata nafasi ya wakili because I'm actually coming from a very poor family and nimelelewa na nyanyangu.
Bakari will be detained at the Shimolatewa Remand Prison. He is expected back in court on September 30th for the mention of his case.
Right, let's take you to a story that we highlighted earlier tonight, and something rather bizarre happened in Bumula, that's in Bungoma County today. A family that was preparing to lay their mother to rest was left stunned after a mob attacked them and set the woman's body and the coffin she was in on fire, accusing her of practicing witchcraft. Evelyn Nasimiu, who was being buried today, had been brutally attacked by a mob that accused her of being responsible for the deaths of her co-wife and 7 children. She succumbed to her injuries in hospital. Zakas Mwasame has the details.
Evelyn Nasimiu was rushed to hospital 2 months ago after unknown people attacked her, beat her up and set her house ablaze. Her attackers accused her of being a witch. She was rescued by police but later succumbed to her injuries while being treated at the Bungoma Referral Hospital.
Nikaona watu wanapika mayoi. Niliposikia nikasikia sauti ikilipuka safari tu moja. Watu wanakimbia ate wamewasha moto. Wamemwakia mafuta, wamemchoma. Sijui nini litendeka mahali hapa.
Her family picked up her body from the hospital mortuary for burial. She was to be laid to rest today. But a group of people believed to be border operators set her body on fire immediately it arrived at her rural home in Brangasi. The group accused her of having a hand in the deaths of her co-wife and 7 children in what they believed to be an act of witchcraft.
Hadi tumechukua jana, alafu tukamleta hapa. Alafu ikakuwa mfuruko wa kadi ya familia na wanabodaboda, alafu ikafika mahali wakachoma mwili.
Mtoto wangu ndiye aliniambia ati mama umeka kuna huko hiyo ndugu yako ametoka kwa hospitali lakini amechomwa.
A 60-year-old man suspected of practicing witchcraft was killed 2 weeks ago in Hasoko village.
It is unfortunate again that the same family, the family of the deceased, divide our orders that they should not remove the body from the mortuary. They should do the burial without the presence of the police because we knew that there are some border fellows who are unhappy about the burial of the said woman. They were demanding that the woman should be taken to municipal. There was allegations of witchcraft.
Zakis Masame, NTV, Bungoma.
What a story. Let's take you to other stories now from across the counties. And police in Voi, Taita Taveta County are investigating a fresh case of a fight for pasture after 2 herders were killed and 2 camels slaughtered. Police believe the attacks could have been fueled by leaders inciting remarks. The 2 herders are said to have been kidnapped before they were then found dead. The attack happened a day after county leaders claimed that camel herders were forcefully driving their animals into farms during Deputy President William Ruto's tour of the region. Tension between farmers and herders over pasture have been simmering for a while now. And elsewhere, a baby that had been rescued from a house fire in Mwingi in Kitui County died in hospital today, as there was no one to attend to him owing to the ongoing health workers' strike in that county. The baby, who had serious burns on his back, had to be rushed to a private hospital for emergency treatment. After first aid was administered, he was then taken to the Mwingi Level 4 hospital, but there were no doctors to attend to him as they had staged a work boycott over delayed salaries. The desperate mother then opted for a mission hospital in Kitui West. And another 15-year-old boy from Moi Girls Estate in Chuka Town, that's Tharaka Nithi County, died last night after a huge fire broke out in their village and razed 10 houses. His father, Jeffrey Mbaka, said he was at work when he received the devastating news. 30 other families lost property to the fire. And finally, in Kiambu, a group of parents from Karuri Primary School are accusing a 60-year-old man of allegedly sodomizing their children, most of whom are in Class 2. The parents, who were speaking at the Karuri Level 4 hospital, where the boys were being examined, claimed the suspect was still roaming free, even though they had reported him to the authorities. Kiambaa Sub-County OCPD said that they were investigating the suspect's involvement in the number of cases of child defilement in the county. From that local news, after the break.
That has been my everything. For everything I am today.
At Sanlam, we truly understand the value of each promise. And for over 100 years, we have been keeping promises for all our clients. Sanlam, every promise needs a keeper.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Hi there.
Selena!
It's great seeing you getting so much value for your money.
Well, it's important to save as much as you can.
You save everywhere. Except for here. This is where you're throwing money down the drain.
How?
On these cleaning products.
Impossible.
Harpic 10X. While other cleaners flow away, Harpic 10X's viscous formula in only one round of application gives you sparkling, clean toilet. Harpic, 10 times better cleaning than other cleaning products.
And great savings too.
CASNEB is a professional examinations body with the mandate to offer globally recognized qualifications in accounting, finance, corporate secretarial practice, and credit management. We invite holders of KCSE D+ to register for the new CASNEB certificate in accounting and management skills CAMS qualification. CASNEB students can also register for CAMS through the Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service (COOPS) and enjoy the loan facility offered to students through HELB. Applicants intending to sit for the November 2019 CASNEB examinations are advised to register and book for the examinations not later than the extended deadline of 30th September 2019. Contact us for more information. CASNEB. Be empowered.
Invest in our strategically located land along Ruiru Committee Road at 3.9 million near Marion Farmhouse School. Nyeri near Mount Kenya Academy at 2.5 million. Nanyuki near Mayan Resort at 595,000. Kitengela near KAG University at 925,000. Nakuru near Egerton University at 420,000. Kisumu in Holo area at 300,000. Vipingo near Centum Awali Estate at 1.5 million. Installment plan available. Mhasibu Housing. Providing unique housing solutions.
Beat germs with Jik. Kills 99.9% of germs on your kitchen surfaces, sponges, chopping boards, sink and fridge, and your bathroom taps, showerhead, basin and surfaces. Just Jik it. Look out for our new improved packaging in store. Just Jik it.
NTV Business News in association with Sanlam Kenya.
Let's get down to business. Welcome. I am Julian Amboko. And turbulence continues to shake up the national airline as the Kenya Airways management's plan to hire contract pilots is thrown into a spin, with Kenya Pilots Association threatening industrial action. The management has expressed frustration with the pilots, accusing them of sabotaging the airline. Lillian Carrier with the details.
It has not been a good day for the management of the Kenya Airways. Just when they thought that they were on the same page with the Kenya Airline Pilots Association on hiring additional contract pilots, the association changes tune and is now planning on issuing a notice to stop the hiring, failure to which its members will go on strike.
All of our proposals to CALPA were formally rejected in letters. So we are applying the CBA by hiring, again I insist, Kenyan pilots for a contract of 2 years, which will allow us to do two things: grow the network, which is a fundamental direction to obtain better financial results, but also not to create disruptions.
Frequent flight delays and cancellation have continued to weigh down on the airline. In the first 18 days of August, Kenya Airways had cancelled more than 52 flights and delayed 40% of its trips.
Whenever you want to train a pilot, you need to take them off flying, and if you multiply the number of planes and the number of growth we have, we are lacking, we said 100 pilots.
The pilots have in the past expressed their lack of confidence in the management and accused them of habitually undermining the collective bargaining agreement, the CBA.
Why do they keep on saying mismanagement? So come on, put up a candidate for the CEO. To run the Kenya Airways. I'd be very welcome to see a candidate from the Kenyan pilots to come and run the airline. So it's this common, it's a vague accusation of mismanagement, and every time it's mismanagement, everybody says, okay, let's replace the CEO, let's replace the chairman. Okay, so now we've done this once, now we're going to do it again. Will it change?
In the last few years, the challenges facing KQ have been threatening to shake up its bragging rights as the pride of Africa. Just as the airline is staring at a half-year loss of over 8.6 billion shillings, the battle between the management and the staff continues to weigh down the airline. Lillian Kiarie, NTV.
And away from aviation, the geothermal development company GDC has successfully drilled the first of 30 well pads in Parker Hills, Baringo County, in a project expected to generate 3,000 megawatts once all the pads are well completed. The geothermal company, which started prospects in Parker, Korosi and Silali in Tiaty sub-counties 7 years ago, registered presence of geothermal energy in Parker well after steam was successfully generated. Earlier in 2009, GDC drilled geothermal wells at Olkaria to provide steam for the new power plant. The development of the field will be done in different phases, with the first 3 each expected to produce 100 megawatts of power. And African business leaders are less optimistic about the growth prospects of the global economy and their organizations' ability to grow their revenues this year in light of the tough operating environment. The 7th edition of the PricewaterhouseCoopers Africa Business Agenda report shows that 25% of CEOs in the region believe that the global economy will decline over the next 12 months, up from just 5% last year, while confidence about their company's prospects for revenue growth have dropped marginally to 77%. At least 49% of CEOs believe that policy uncertainty could hamper growth prospects of their businesses, a figure that drops to 43% and 42% for overregulation and increased tax burden, respectively. Livestock farmers have once again taken to the streets, protesting lack of payments by Kenya Meat Commission for livestock delivered. The agitated farmers who supplied livestock to the factory camped at the company's Athi River station, seeking audience with the management over unsettled payments to the tune of 380 million shillings over the past 3 years. Speaking on phone, Kenya Meat Commission's Managing Commissioner James Sereni said that farmers' issues will be addressed in due course and their debt will be settled. Former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka has asked the government to invest in the youth in order to reap the demographic dividend of Africa's growing youthful population. Speaking during a workshop organized by the Central Organization of Trade Union KOTU and the Organization of Africa Trade Union Unity, Kalonzo condemned the acts of corruption which have been seen among the educated, skilled youth and locked them out of the job market.
This country is very young.
over 65% of our population is now aged below 30. They're impatient for work. They want to find employment, but they leave. We churn them out of our universities and other public institutions every now and then, every year. I think in this country, you talk about 500,000 Kenyans who go into the job market every year, and there are no available jobs. I see you're going to visit Isuzu East Africa Limited at some stage. Now, these are the reasons that have brought about revolution in Africa.
And up next is the financial report.
NTV Financial Report in association with Kenya Ports Authority. NTV Financial Report in association with Kenya Ports Authority.
We move what you make. Kenya Ports Authority. Growing business, enriching lives. At Sanlam, we truly understand the value of each promise. And for over 100 years, we have been keeping promises for all our clients. Sanlam, every promise needs a keeper.
And that's it from the business desk, but still ahead. From Kenya to the world's best teachers set for UN address. Stay with us for more details on that story.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Mzee, I'm hungry.
Yes, with some extra fries. Delivery on the way.
So extra.
No!
So extra.
Has to be extra because extra data is always better with extra minutes. Dial *544# to subscribe and share live extra. Telkom, moving with you.
Hey, mister. Where you going?
Men clean their cars themselves. I'll also clean my own bike. I'm grown up now.
Then you'll need this. The most pleasant surprise for a mother is to see her child growing up. But I know as he learns to take more responsibility, he'll face more dirt, germs, and the risk of illness.
That's why you need strong Dettol protection, because Dettol cleans and protects against 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
Download the Global app today, and when you need anything, order Global and we'll deliver it in minutes.
Thanks for staying with us. Peter Tabichi, the Kenyan teacher who won the 2019 Global Teacher Prize, met US President Donald Trump at the White House on Monday. Through a tweet, the White House press secretary lauded Tabichi's work, saying that his dedication to helping the poor is an inspiration to many. Have a look.
The world's best teacher, Peter Tabichi, is in the US and is expected to address the 74th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, which officially begins today. On Monday, Tabichi met with the US President Donald Trump. The White House lauded Tabichi for his selfless nature, giving away 80% of his salary to help needy students. Describing teacher Peter Tabichi as an inspiration to Americans for his hard work and commitment to his students. Through a tweet, White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham lauded Tabichi's work, saying his dedication to helping the poor is an inspiration to many. Tabichi, a staunch Catholic, amazed the world with his commitment to nurturing the academic abilities of his students, majority of whom come from poor backgrounds. He is a mathematics and science teacher at Kiriko Mixed Day Secondary School in Nakuru. He will address the 74th session to give insight into how he managed to excel as a teacher in a community where poverty is widespread. In April this year, Tabichi was appointed as the first champion for children in conflicts and crisis for Education Cannot Wait, the Global Fund for Education in Crisis. He now champions the cause of the 75 million children whose education is disrupted by conflicts and natural disasters, traveling to the world's most crisis-affected children, and with planned engagements at the 2019 United Nations General Assembly and other high-level events. It is hoped his inspiring story and powerful voice will help raise the urgency on the world stage to invest in the future of children in crisis.
What an absolute hero, and such a great welcome for him. Truly, truly deserved. But on that note, we've got to take a quick break. The sports news with Where Are They is coming up. Here's a little bit of what you can expect. Now, are you wondering what former Harambee Stars coach Stanley Okumbi has been up to? Details of his latest project are coming up after this break.
Download the Glovo app today, and when you need anything, order Glovo and we'll deliver it in minutes.
From the heart of Nairobi,
kama unaniamini na kifunguo ya nyumba mpaka kifunguo ya bedroom yako, kwa nini?
Shut up. Unajua if my husband discovers you're the one who cleans my bedroom, atafurahia.
Hapa ni Nairobi my friend, ile netili ujinga ulikuwa unaniletea Kisii.
But my mommy says lying is not good.
Umeacha ule watu ndio wako pale. Mimi ndo unanikujia peke yangu hapa. Wametumwa na makatelo wananifuata kila mahali.
Unataka ninywe hizi dread juu ya heartbreak?
Unaziona na wewe, si ndio?
Ni rahisi kunijua, si ngumu. Just link on my bio.
Mimi nataka kutoshana na wewe, bulldozer.
Shifira, I am proportional. Your circumference. Get the difference.
Yeah, let's give it a try. When it comes to pimple care, Acne's Creamy Wash contains multiple vitamins and removes excessive oil and dirt. Use Mentholatum Acne's for clear and smooth skin every day.
It's time to play. Welcome to NTV Sport. I am Warote Kiru. Go forth and make history. That is a message to Eliud Kipchoge from the Athletics Kenya bosses, as well as legendary athlete Kipchoge Keino. The AK Top Brass also paid a visit to Team Kenya marathon team to the IAAF World Championships in Doha next month that has been training in Eldoret. Two-time marathon world champion Edna Kiplagat, who is a team captain, as well as defending champion Geoffrey Kirui, will lead the charge for Team Kenya in marathon at the IAAF World Championship in Doha. Edna will lead former Paris marathon champion Veselin Jepkesho and Dubai marathon champion Ruth Chepngetich in the women's category.
We have accepted and we are ready to go and represent our country well.
While in the men's, Kirui will lead Berlin marathon runners-up Amos Kipruto and former Paris marathon champion Paul Lonyangata in a bid to defend Kenya's title.
Tuna train teamwork na naona kwamba tutaenda hata kukimbia teamwork huko. Tuone kwamba tumeshinda.
The marathoners are set to jet out to Doha next week ahead of the championships set to kick off in 10 days' time. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking for Eliud Kipchoge's date with history. Kipchoge, who is a reigning world and Olympic champion and the current marathon world record holder, is making a second attempt to become the first human ever to run a sub-2-hour marathon. And the blessings and messages of goodwill are flowing in thick and fast.
As a federation, we came here to wish him well and to give him God's blessings before he goes for that historical event.
In preparation for the historic event, Kipchoge has been training at his base in Kaptagat. Dubbed the Ineos 159 Challenge, the race, which is sponsored by global petrochemical company Ineos, is scheduled to take place in Vienna, Austria on Saturday, 12th October. We keep it athletics, and 2017 Deaflympic silver medalist Beryl Wamira won Kenya her first gold medal at the first ever Africa Deaf Athletics Championships that is ongoing at the Kasarani Stadium. Wamira won the 100 meters race in a time of 12.87 seconds. Nigeria's Assurance Omoira was second ahead of Kenya's Ruth Awor. Kenya's Elisha Wekesa, Walter Malenje, and Paul Samiu won their respective heats to make the cut for Wednesday's final in the men's event. Uganda's Jennifer Nyakato won the women's 800 meters ahead of an Ethiopian duo. Kenya's Hannah Wakonyo, Rebecca Matiko, and Roslida Neita took the 4th to 6th places. John Koech and Francis Rondi won their respective heats to qualify for Wednesday's final in the men's event. Kenya was awarded the rights to host the event due to her dominance in the World Deaf Championships. We cross over to football, and the national under-20 football team will be seeking to emulate the national under-15 team who placed second in the Sekafa under-15 tournament last month when they play in the upcoming Sekafa under-20 championships in Jinja, Uganda. Under the watchful eyes of Coach Stanley Okumbi, the team has held pre-training sessions this week, 2 on Monday and at Camp Toyo and 1 today at the James Cambridge School in Rongai. The lads will depart for Jinja, Uganda tomorrow. In the tournament that kicks off on Saturday, Kenya has been pulled in a tough Group B alongside Ethiopia, Zanzibar and Tanzania. The Rising Stars will start off their campaign against Zanzibar on Sunday afternoon.
We are in a tough group, but for me I believe that the tougher the group is, we need to be at our best so that we can maybe we can top in that group, and I believe that for sure the way our players have been training, I know we can do something in that tournament.
The national women's volleyball team, the Malkia Strikers, will be seeking an elusive victory at the ongoing FIVB World Cup in Japan on Wednesday when they take on Brazil in their 4th match of the round-robin format tournament. Kenya has lost in straight sets to the United States of America, the Netherlands, and the world champions Serbia. However, the performances of upcoming players Lorraine Chebet, Edith Wisa, and Sharon Chepchumba has caught the attention of the volleyball world. Chepchumba, who is a Kenya pipeline attacker and who is a leading Kenyan scorer at the World Cup with 27 points from 3 matches, has scouts from European clubs apparently interested in her. Let's change gears and go to the motorsport, and preparations are complete ahead of the third edition of the 4x4 Challenge, which will be held this weekend in Kipeto, Kajiado County. According to the clerk of the course, George Njoroge, the stages have been improved with an additional one stage for participants at the expert stage. Champagne Park has been widely known for hosting the off-road event, which originated in Britain in the late 1800s and that has gained tremendous inroads in Kenya while attracting significant interest from local enthusiasts of the sport who now want it professionalized in the future.
We've improved on the stages again. It will be tough. This time round, we've done another one stage for the experts, which will be the rock roaring. I think this time the experts will have it rough, and hopefully they have prepared their car properly for these stages.
Let's quickly check out what's happening across the borders. And the 9th 15th Rugby World Cup starts on Friday with hosts Japan taking on Minnows Russia in a match that is expected to be one-sided. Fans will, however, be expecting fireworks on Sunday.
Wake up to nothing but the best in news, conversation starters and hard-hitting interviews that keep you informed for the day ahead.
Up and early, 6 on the nose. These people don't sleep. Fix first the data protection law, then we come up with the number.
Exactly my question to CS Joe Mushero.
Welcome to Living with This. I'm your host, Sharon Mundia. Boy, have you missed out.
Stop your wheel. Game done.
Champions League is back, and we'll be bringing you all the updates of the matches that will be going on just in the next 1 minute in our bulletins tomorrow. But for now, thank you for watching. I'm Orote Kiru. Back to Smriti.
It's 10 o'clock. You've been watching NTV Tonight. I'm Smriti Vidyarthi. Thanks very much for your company. Flora Atieno has been our sign language interpreter tonight. That's where we leave it. Do stay tuned, though. Ken Mijungu is coming up in just a moment with a sidebar.